Alright, let me actually make sure that my volume is working correctly, because for some reason it didn't pick up in the last game. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this and get this show on the road. So here we go. Yes, if you guys did not notice, I have decided to try and switch to Protoss. One of the reasons why I don't like, when I'm not inspired by any of the new units in Heart of the Swarm for Terran. The mine is good, the Hellbats are good, but overall the race still feels incomplete. At least for me it does, and I believe as players get better and better, and as players figure out more and more tricks for Protoss and Zerg, you will go ahead and find that Terran has a little bit of an incomplete package so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at the races. I am going to be playing as the red Protoss player, Crota, down over here on the bottom right hand side, and now we are going to have we're going to be going up against a Terran player called Venom. Now he's only platinum, but then again, on top of this, I've only played about maybe 12 to 15 games with Protoss in the past year and a half, so my skills are rusty at best. I have good theory, but that is about it. Now, basically the strategy that I'm going to be showing you is a strategy that's very strong against Terran players. Terran players in general, the general metagame right now is a 1-Rax expand or some sort of expansion play utilizing bunkers. Now, what you're going to be seeing here is a variation on a 4-gate. It's not actually a 4-gate since pylons cannot warp up onto the high ground. But what you are going to see is the utilization of the new Mothership core. But the Mothership core is a very strong unit early on just because it's a flying unit. Now, what's the difference between the Mothership core and, say, an Observer or a Warp Prism or some other unit, say a Void Ray, to be able to utilize Blink Stalkers to get up onto the high ground? Well, the fact is, it doesn't take an additional tech building. When you try to use Blink Stalkers to get into play for, say, to get onto high ground, with a robotics facility or a Stargate, that's actually wasted resources that could be more units. And we all know that 200 gas or something along those lines could be the difference between victory and defeat. Now, coming back here, pretty standard timings, nothing too out of the ordinary. I'm getting the gateway, getting the cybernetics core, getting the pylon here. I am getting my second gas slightly faster, and the reason behind this is you want to get your Mothership core. As soon as your cybernetics core is done, you want to grab a Stalker, you want to Chrono Boost out Warp Gate, and you also want to get your Mothership core. This is going to be a 2-prong attack, or a two timing attack that you're really going to be pushing onto the Terran player. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. My gas is pretty much nearing exactly at 200, so there you go. There is that Stalker, there is that Warp Gate, and I believe we are going to be going into that. Oh, I forgot the Mothership core only costs 100 minerals. For some reason, I thought it cost 2. So that's the reason why I messed up there. But I could have gotten that Mothership core pretty much right on the dot as well. Mothership core only takes 30 seconds to train and is a very, very good unit. And you'll see why later on. Now, there is a Stalker hiding down over here, and we see that Venom, he's being pretty conservative. He did go for double gas already. He is getting up his expansion, and this isn't any known build that I know about, but he is just trying to go for that economic route, which is normally fairly safe. He is sitting here on the high ground. He has a wall off here. He has Marines. The only thing he doesn't have is a bunker down over here. Now, let's take a look at this. There is one Marine holding that Zelnaga tower there, and you're going to see my Mothership core move around. Now, the Stalker is going to shoot down this SCV. Twilight Council is now coming into play as well, as the Mothership core and the Stalker here should start to make a move. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be grabbing 3 Stalkers and utilizing that Mothership core to put a little bit of pressure onto the high ground. Now, we are coming close to the 6-minute mark, and I already can attack up onto the high ground. The only thing that really stops this is another Terran all-in on the other side. Now, most Terran players will not react with an all-in of their own, say with Stim Marines and Siege Tanks. That's actually what happened in my game. I already have my proxy pylon set up, my Warp Gate tech is about to be completed, and Blink is still a little bit of ways away, but that's fine. I don't need Blink just quite yet. I'm just trying to test this front door. Now, if I played this a little bit smarter, I could have actually gotten, yeah, there, I get that Marine, and I'm just poking up onto the high ground. I'm not really trying to deal that much damage. I'm just pushing and applying pressure. Now you can see that the Stalker is backing off. The Mothership core has to be very careful. It kind of gets very gung-ho. And now we see the Widow Mine come into play. Now you think to yourself, okay, the Widow Mine, that should be able to stop this attack. Well, that's true, but a lot of times players forget that the Mothership core actually has a detection ability. With Envision, the Mothership core will reveal this Widow Mine, and I'll be able to take this down with little to no effort. So I'm just still attacking here, putting pressure. Perhaps if I can get a supply block onto my opponent, that's even better. Marines getting taken down here, and I'm just going to shoot down this supply depot now. Now, this is going to cause some problems here. One unit does get taken down, and now, oh, there is that Envision. I'm able to actually spot up onto the high ground, and this thing is just attacking. However, I do end up losing it, and I don't want to engage right now, knowing that my Mothership core is gone. So if I was actually a little bit more careful there, I would have been in much better shape. But I still am warping in Stalkers. And behind this, I am also getting 3 additional gateways. I already have Blink now, so I can just mass up a large group of large number of units here. Now, normally, this is an all-in, but because of the timing and me losing that Mothership core, I also know that me trying to get additional gateways are not going to be doing very much. You can see the Mothership core, once again, on the move there. Very decent moving speed, decent movement speed, even though it is only the same movement speed as a Thor. Because it is an air unit, like an Overlord, it feels much, much faster since it doesn't have to traverse terrain. Now, let's take a look at this. Oh, you can actually see structures. Let's go into the production tab. I'm warping in a Nexus. I don't really feel that I need this expansion at all. Also, with this front door here, I pretty much can really just destroy this, or destroy and place down pressure with little to no problems. If you take a look at the army, I'm much larger already than my opponent, and the Mothership core, by giving me sight, is gonna just cause problems. So I'm just gonna quickly blink up there, and there you go. The Widow Mine is going to do an attack. It does take down one of my Stalkers, but I know that that Widow Mine is there. I can go ahead and now use Envision if I wanted to. If I was actually smart, I would be using Envision. Not quite sure why I'm not. Now pulling away, you can see that this one particular Widow Mine is there. It might actually attack me again, which would make me feel really, really silly. I think the Mothership core also has a very, very high threat level, but SCVs are now coming off the mineral line. They're not going to be able to do very much of anything. There is the next attack there. You can see that Mothership core almost gets taken down again. There's the Envision now to make sure that I can actually spot up onto the high ground. I'm just attacking, you know, another Widow Mine making its way over, because the Mothership core is a detector, and there's the GG. So a very, very fast game. I know I didn't execute or play that game all that well, but based upon what Venom saw, like, even, or based upon what I had in my arsenal, if I had remembered to get Envision earlier, I wouldn't have taken the damage. If I had just used Envision on the Mothership core and started walking around, I would have seen the Widow Mine not blinked right on top of it. Things like that. So as I learn this particular build, it's going to get stronger and stronger, and I'm really interested to see what Terran players are going to start throwing at me in order to counter this. I think this is perhaps one of the stronger builds that I've seen in Heart of the Swarm. At least it's the strongest build that I've actually been able to execute well, and I want to see what other players come up with. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.